Hi, this is the 8th edition of the Arroios newspaper. On this edition, the main news are about the Arroios swimming pool, which was renovated recently and was inaugurated by the mayor and the president of the Arroios parish. We also have several other news, and I will mainly speak about the ones that most interested me. One important news was that the parish inaugurated a house for the homeless, and this is not a simple shelter, but this is a sort of a fraternity in which the homeless are provided with a space. They can share their space, but they also have to be responsible for the utility bills. The parish pays for the rent, and also the local church pays for their food, but they have to find a way and the means to provide for themselves as well. So this is a very important independency autonomy project. One other news that caught my eye was the Arroios Film Festival. Arroios Film Festival is a festival that is being promoted. I saw the call for applications for movies, and in this newspaper they tell us that they got over 3,000 short films applying from all over the world. So this is something that will be in our minds and in our agendas for the next few months. The next news that I found interesting was that the mayor was here in Arroios planting a tree on the International Forest Day. This is a very important sign that is given by public officials that they are invested in the environment. And to have the mayor planting trees with the kids, I think was really fun. One important aspect of the International Forest Day is that also in the parish, since the beginning of the year, there has been an effort to replant a lot of new trees, and that's also a news on this newspaper with the number of trees and the places that are being planted. One other party that I actually attended and that was really fun was an annual kite festival that is held by the Chinese School of Lisbon. The Chinese School of Lisbon is a school that is very interesting. They teach over 900 kids Mandarin, and they have an annual party in which they launch Chinese kites, and it was very colorful. It was in Alameda Dom Afonso Henriques on the 22nd of May. On the center pages of the newspaper, you have an idea of the kind of activities you can do at the swimming pool. I still haven't enrolled, but apparently you can do a lot of things, not only if you're a kid, but also for the adults. So there are teaching classes for adults, there is swimming for kids, for babies, and there is also hydrotherapy. So if you had any kind of injury that you need to take care of, it is also available here at the swimming pool. You can also come and swim freely, since there is a specific time at which the lanes are completely free for you to swim. One important thing that I found in this newspaper is that the parish's assembly meets every few months, and from now on it's going to be these meetings are going to be broadcasted live. This, I think, is a very important way for us to keep up with what the parish is doing and with the political decisions that are taken here. So this is one of the other news that is here in the newspaper. And also a very fun one, which is that the Arroios market is going to have a greenhouse at the top of it. It's a hydroponic greenhouse, so there's no soil, and it's going to be not only used to grow vegetables and herbs to sell at the market, but also to teach young kids from the local schools where their food comes from, and to teach them ways to grow them in their own homes. One aspect that is usually very invisible for us is emergency and security measures taken in emergency situations. And the one other news that caught my eye is the fact that there was the local emergency plan, which is in place, was tested recently. So with all the responsible people in the parish and in the police, in the firefighting department, everybody was tested for their ability to solve problems. It's good to know. The one important issue in this newspaper is the swimming pool, and because of that there's a very big interview to the coordinator of the construction. It's nice to know the people that are responsible for these things where we live. So in this case, João Valente Pires, he coordinated all the rebuild of the swimming pool, and he tells us about the main difficulties and the most rewarding aspects of the rebuild. And finally, one part of the newspaper that I always look forward to, it's a personal story from someone who had to immigrate. So a Portuguese guy, he doesn't live here in Portugal anymore, and every time he comes back to Arroios, which is his family home. And he always feels this, he misses the city, but he misses especially this part of the city because he has the connection to it. I found it very moving to see how he finishes his letter, saying that maybe one day he will return to Lisbon, to Arroios, which is his home. So this is a sum up of this edition of the Arroios newspaper. There's much more news inside, so I would advise you to get it in the usual place or in your mailbox. And remember, Arroios is yours, keep it clean.